Hi everyone, in this video we will see how to enable a virtual host in your Apache server. So what actually Apache server means? Apache server is just a web hosting server. And what is virtual host? Virtual server is like you are using your single server instance for multiple domain names. Like if you want to try with abc.com and xyz.com with the same server, so we need to enable virtual server, virtual host config file, and we need to make the respective changes to serve two domains with a single server and different code base. So we'll see how to do that. Do that. Okay, now first I'm opening my Apache folder, Apache installation folder. So here is in C drive, my Apache installation folder is. Under the installation folder of your Apache, the Apache folder may be vary with Apache 2.2, Apache 2.4, or different versions of Apache. Or it can be simple Apache folder. Under Apache, you will be having config folder. Go to config. Under the config, you will have an HTTP config t. Edit the HTTP config t. After editing the HTTP config t, go to the bottom of your file, config file. This is a basic config file which Apache will take as an root config, basic first config file to read and start with all other dependencies. So under this file, you will be having the virtual host config, which will be commented or which is not used yet. So here we have virtual config dot httpd virtual host dot config. So this is this is already uncommented. So this file is using, but code changes may not be using in that file. All the code will be commented in that file. So from where you have find this config. So under the config folder, extras httpd virtualhost.config file. So we are already in Apache folder. Under config, you have another folder called extra. Go to extra, and you will be having the config virtualhost.config. Edit the file. So this is a basic configuration which we'll use for the virtual host. So virtual host, this is a syntax for adding one virtual host. If you are using only one application with only one application, then no need of using virtual host. So if you have two different applications with the two domain names, and still if you want to use a single server without changing the port, then this is the only option, that virtual host. So in this virtual host, the server identifies to which server the request came. So identifies only used by using server name. So if you are using from the browser, if you're trying with dummy host example.com, then this virtual host config will work. So if the request is coming from the host dummy host2.example.com, the configuration under this virtual host will be active. So it's not like only one server will be activated up. So we can add multiple configs here. We can add multiple servers, multiple domain names here. With a different folder as a code base. So this is our root document where all the code for this application is based, and this is the folder path where all the code base is located for this application. Okay, for this domain. Okay, so that is a basic configuration, and we can add different conditions here, like different directories and different settings. We can make the logs here. We can log changes and application path access. All we can override the application settings here. Basically, you can override the application settings here. So if you want to use virtual host with a different port, and if you want to change the 80 to some different port, and we need to change this port here, and we need to change the port in listen in the HTTPD with the listen 80. Okay, I've already committed 81, which I'm not using it. So you need to change your port here, and you need to change your port here. So the ports what you're using should have here. Otherwise, your server will not start, and you will run into the problems. So if you missed any of the ashes, removing the ashes, and if your not closed properly or not completed properly, then the server will not start. The server will not start and you'll be running into problems. So if you want to add the two different domains with a single server, two different folders as a code base, then we need to select the option as virtual host enable. So this is how we need to do changes. Thanks for listening.